guys. So, naturally, if you want to save some money, make sure to check the description down below for the code I've got with Aptoid. And of course, if you don't already know what Aptoid is, it's basically just, well, like for example, let's say if I wanted to grab something and I want to grab, say, like right now we just ended that event. As you guys all know, Frozen Wonderland's going on. But if, let's say, for example, I don't know, try to think of something that you guys would be interested in. I guess, like, for example, if you went over to the shop and say you wanted to grab some of their gems, for example, you can go over here and it'll pull up the app coins wallet, and then you can basically buy gems or what have you in the game. And then from there, say if you're wanting to grab something like, I don't know, maybe you want the toothpick, diamonds, what have you, you can use it with Aptoid. It's relatively straightforward, and as far as setting it up goes, you just download the AppCoins wallet, and then, I've got the link in the description, so you can download the APK for Legend of Mushroom, and really, pretty much all you got to do is install the Legend of Mushroom game, and then once you've done that, then you just get the AppCoin wallet. And I've got the links to those both in the description, so it's relatively straightforward. But the main thing is that when you go to the wallet, the main thing is if you want to be able to take advantage of any of the promotions and stuff like that, really all you got to do is go to the promo code section, and then you just type in Dakanoth, and that's about all you have to do. Anyway, so that's pretty much the idea behind it. It's not terribly confusing by any stretch of the imagination, but one of the things that I know a lot of you are probably paying very close attention to is like the new mount. And obviously, this is very much, everybody knows Cheetah Zero is still ridiculously overpowered, right? But I know some people have probably been preying on, the Silvery Crescent being the next best thing that they can get towards it, and it's pretty close, but it's not by any means the same, right? Like, I would argue that Cheetah Zero is definitely going to be a better piece. But that said, one of the things that I think a lot of people are paying very close attention to right now is actually going to be in here. So, again, if you're wanting to make sure you do the best you can possible, really, all you got to do is just go through here and upgrade. And I'm just going to go ahead and mass upgrade basically really quickly just to kind of show you. We'll just equip whatever we get here. We're not picky. We'll just grab whatever we can grab to start out with until we've got enough to fill all of our set icons. Well, of course, assuming the stats aren't like garbage. They have to be somewhat decent, of course. Once in a while we'll get lucky here. Okay, so, and then from there all we're going to do is say epic and above. We'll do 2 at a time. This is basically the same thing, same everything, and then there's not really a whole lot to this. You just basically go ahead and mine over and over and over. And you're just ultimately looking for a piece of gear that's going to be decent enough on your flagship so that you've got all the core stats that you can possibly get for your battleship. And it's just like any event. It's the main thing is that if you want to be able to compete in this event and you want to have anything meaningful in it, then you got to pay very close attention to kind of both the pouches, right? But then there's, because again, if you get like certain stats here, for example, if you get like the flames, you're going to be getting attack. If you get the mountains, you're going to be getting some HP and defense. But the main thing is the AoE versus basic attack damage, doing a stack of burn. And between the two of them, really it's just kind of a question of, do you want to do damage over time, or do you want to do like a shield and then do a substantial amount of damage across the board? I, for one, think the flame damage element of this is probably a little bit more advantageous. The water symbol thing is really only good for mages. The top one's kind of more for your counter builds. It's, you know, it's not all that complicated to see how exactly all that plays out. Of course, like anything, you can see that, you know, certain particular treasures are going to favor a certain playstyle. You can always upgrade and increase the star rating of these, so you get a little bit more stats based on whatever you own or possess. And again, it takes a while to acquire these, I would say, but during this season, it's not really all that troublesome, really. It's just I've got a stack of these, so I'll just go ahead and show you. Like, I'm gonna burn through like a little over 130 just like that, and it won't be anything to get the in-season pieces. And so we'll go ahead and upgrade these two while we're at it. Might as well anyway. That's just more to our core stats, which will come in handy when we're up against other players. And again, a lot of that you don't have a lot of control over, because a lot of the pay-to-win ones that you run into are still going to mollywop you. You just have to be kind of mindful of that when you're in this event, because it is very easy to get mollywopped. But I mean, for the most part, once you go through and do this and done your upgrades here, then it'll ask you what pieces you want to wear. And like I said, my opinion on this is go all flame rocks. So that is to say, you know, if you're gonna choose which pieces to use, I say you go this route. This is what I would recommend. So you just want to use your flame charms, get your stacks, get the highest possible level, and get all those bonuses, okay, on your pouch. But then from there, I mean, the rest of it is just a matter of running draws. And, you know, the Sea Observatory is really straightforward. You just go ahead and level all this as much as you can, and then you'll turn around and get a bunch of it. The Maritime Academy is kind of a same thing. I mean, it's just core stats. The only thing in crew here that really matters is you want to grab Blitz Assault, I would say, relatively early on, and then it never hurts. So, like, depending on the type of build you're running, it may vary a little bit here and there, but I would say you would want to run the dragon, probably the deer. And if you're running a Plume Monarch build like I do, then to me this makes sense, because just from a strictly PvE aspect, that's really, really helpful to have. But from here on out, I kind of lean towards, like, you know, either going for something that debuffs the amount of damage they do, or you could alternatively go about this like going for the damage up front. Like, I get a lot of crits, so it may not hurt to do it this way. And again, you know, you only really get that advantage as you level your buildings up and such, so there's not really a whole lot you can really do here other than run the draws and just hope that at some point you'll actually get the required material on your ship that you're looking for. And again, your flagship, as it levels up, you're going to acquire more and more stuff anyway. So it's just kind of it's a grind. Really, that's about all there is to it. But the main thing is you always want to make sure you're hitting ruins. And the ruins are going to give you access to basically extra loot every day. And you can turn around and use those medals for items in-game after the event ends anyway. So there's not really any incentive to not do this, you know, because you want to make sure you're grabbing the extra rewards here. And there's a lot of them. But like anything, I think a lot of people don't like pay any attention to this stuff as much as they probably should, because there's a lot of loot in there that you can grab. Because you notice how even here there's, you know, you get like different rewards based on the tabs that you're on. And again, when we're all the way this way through into the event, you don't really have to do a whole lot other than collect your items. So if you haven't already done that, you really probably ought to. I mean, this is just one of those events that it's just kind of a no-brainer. There's not really a whole lot to it. And of course, you can buy supplies and stuff like that if that's what you want to do, but most of the people that I know that run this event are really just kind of doing the very bare minimum and running it to pretty much upgrade their level and rinse repeat. And then as they get the items in question that they're after, they just, you know, they consistently upgrade for epics and build up from there. On the morph, I mean, you can kind of choose however you want your ship to look. Not really all that fancy by any stretch of the imagination. We'll go ahead and kind of roll here a couple of times and see what we grab. But this is all for the ship itself. And with a little, I'm gonna just run the skip here in case you just don't want to watch it, which I don't. And then from there, you can actually upgrade the level of your ship. So if you've got any bits and pieces to it, you can upgrade the level to it. And again, you know, varying different degrees of bonuses depending on, you know, global defense, global counter, global combo, basic attack, and so on. Like in this particular case, the drifting canoe is probably going to be a little bit better for my combo, but you could also just as easily see the benefit of other boats. And it all just depends on what you can get access to. But generally, you will kind of lean in direction of whatever's going to give you the best core stat possible. And again, just having upgraded that a little bit, I just got access to the next set of crew. So here we'll probably throw, I would say the bunny is probably a good choice, but in this case, because I need crit, I'm going to throw this on top of that. And that's going to make the crit go up. And then as a flak for that, I always like to run something that is going to give us some mutual benefit PvP, which I think, you know, you could either go 100 slashes, smoke bomb, or you could just go this route and just slow them down, which slowing them down is usually about all you need anyway. And then pretty much that's all there is to it as far as the actual event is concerned. Like, and other than that, I mean, really, it's most of what you're going to be doing is doing your upgrades and such, and that's just doing the ship season. So most of the loot, though, in terms of what I've been doing, is I've been working on a crit combo set, and we're eventually going to get all Horus and then eventually all Eternal crit combo. It just takes an enormous amount of time to run. And you've got to get so many lamps to be able to do it, but once you actually acquire it, it works great. And if you wonder, how do I do it? I just do Supreme and above, combo crit, crit, and combo, run 20 lamps, and then rinse repeat. Takes about 10,000 or so lamps for every draw, and that's really about all there is to it. Now, as far as my new avian, you may be wondering, why the heck are you using the lemon? Well, the reason why was because I basically got the mutated time saving. And because it already had the combo bonus, the crit bonus, and the combo, it just seemed like a good idea to go ahead and jump a couple of levels. Because in the book, over in achievements, you can actually get some of the freebie items like the reversal potions based on the level that you're at. So I went ahead and just kind of skipped and jumped up to 80 just to get that little extra to basically bite on. And again, it doesn't hurt you any, so you might as well. But, you know, it's one of those things that I'm sure I'll probably swap it out for something better when I actually get there. It's just, it takes an enormous amount of time to really get to that point. But otherwise, that's really about all there is to it, guys, in case you didn't already know. Thank you guys for watching.